All right, guys, it's the Steel Twins coming back at you with another week of NFL predictions. This time we are on to week 12. And today, of course, I have a very special guest with me, an OG member of the Discord chat, my guy, ClutchBox. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right.
That's good. That's good to hear. We got some interesting football this week. To start off, we have Thursday night football. We have kind of an interesting one right here. We're going to go with the Buffalo Bills at the Houston Texans. ClutchBox, what's your prediction for this one?
Well, I know that my brother picked Houston that one game. That was a few weeks ago, and he was right about Houston actually winning with Davis Mills. Um, but I don't think that Houston has any chance in this game, even if CJ Stroud is back. Because I mean, personally, I've seen that Nico Collins has been better, at least in fantasy, with Davis Mills than he was with CJ Stroud. So,
Do you say that because
and
you're a
then
Nico Collins fantasy owner?
well, no, but I'm also Josh Allen fantasy owner, and Josh
Okay.
Allen scored 50 points yesterday.
I'm right there with you. I got Allen
Or
as well. Yes.
Sunday.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, he's I gotta pick Buffalo in this game.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the same. What the Texans since Davis Mills has stepped in, he's 2-0. The Texans have won two straight, to which they needed. Good for them. They're 5-5 right now. I don't know if Stroud comes back from his injury. I think it's a concussion, if I'm not mistaken. Nonetheless, I mean, you're going up against Buffalo. That's coming off a huge win versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a high-scoring affair. And the Bills. I mean, they're the Bills. They're 7-3. They're a good football team right now. Uh, Houston may keep this game tight defensively and whatnot, but nonetheless, I don't think their offense is good enough to get past Buffalo. So I'm gonna say the Bills get a win here and go to 8-3. Next game, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Chicago Bears. Now, I believe that the last time the Steelers have won versus the Bears in Chicago was back all the way to 1995, about 30 years ago. And Tomlin did give an update on Aaron Rodgers that he has a fracture in his left wrist that doesn't require surgery, but A-Rod is pushing to play. So his status is to be determined. But if A-Rod doesn't play, of course, our guy Mason Rudolph will have to step in and do what he needs to do. But ClutchBox, what's your prediction for this one?
Um, I feel like regardless of whether or not Rudolph or Rodgers plays, I feel like the Steelers kind of need to win this game to like keep up their lead against Baltimore because Baltimore has won I think four straight, and they're either four or five straight, and they're catching up. So if we were to lose this game, it would be pretty bad. So I'm gonna pick the Steelers.
Yeah, Baltimore has won four straight, and they have a favorable matchup later on, which we'll get into. But no, the Steelers, they're coming off a very impressive and good win versus the Bengals right here. When Mason even stepped in, the offense was, in my opinion, a bit more methodical and more balanced. And as far as Mason in the pocket, I felt like he was more steady, and I mean that in like a calm manner, like he wasn't afraid of the pressure coming at him. He's very confident in the guys up front. Um, Mason did good. If he has to step in, I have full confidence in Mason. I'm comfortable with him coming in and doing what we need to do at quarterback. The defense has been playing lights out. They're doing very good over the past 3 weeks, and they need to be consistent and keep that up. But against the Bears, they are 7-3 right now. They are first place in their division, and they have won 3 straight. And they're a good-looking football team. They got a high-powered offense, of course, led by Ben Johnson. Caleb Williams at quarterback. He's looking good. That defense ain't half bad either. They know how to create turnovers and get pressure. This is going to be a tough one. I got to be real. As much as I want to pick the Steelers, I just don't think that the history of the Steelers in Chicago is going to be on their side, because they haven't won since 1995 versus Chicago in Chicago, and I'm afraid that that's only going to continue. I just have that feeling in my gut. I don't know why. It might be because of the stat I just threw out there, but I'm going to go with Chicago to get the win. But trust me, I hope I am wrong and that the Steelers get a much needed and necessary victory for sure. But next game, we got the New England Patriots at the Cincinnati Bengals, who will not have Jamar Chase for this one, as he is officially suspended for one game for spitting on Jalen Ramsey, and rightfully so, should he
Yeah.
be suspended for this one. But Clutch, what's your prediction for this one?
Well, I just want to say that like I went through a roller coaster of emotions watching the game about the Jamar Chase and Ramsey incident because I watched it. I was like, yeah, Ramsey chirp, chirp, let's go. Then I saw Ramsey punch him, and I was like, oh, that was bad. Like Ramsey, what are you doing? And then I saw that Jamar spat in him. I was like, okay, well now I forgive Ramsey, and I'm like, what? Like what? Who in their right mind spits at somebody like? And then he's trying to make a defense that he if he was really gonna spit at him, he would have spit at him and not at the ground. Like it's just a terrible defense. It looks like a Saul Goodman lawyer type of thing.
Hmm.
um, but and I also think he's appealing, so I'm not sure if he's going to miss this game because if you appeal, you might push the suspension down like another week.
What's
I'm
there
not
to
sure.
appeal though? Like the
I
evidence
don't
is
know. I don't know.
clear.
I don't know. I know. He's an idiot for trying to
Yeah,
appeal
I
that.
don't
Like I
know.
don't know why, but I mean, regardless of whether or not he would play, I still think that New England would win this because I mean, Drake May looks like I don't want to be biased, but like Drake May looks amazing because he's on my fantasy team.
I mean,
But
I
yeah, I
am a
think
Drake May
Detroit wins
fantasy
for
owner
sure.
too, so yes, I mean he's playing lights out.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the Patriots, I mean they are 9-2.
the evil empire's back.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean like they've won what 8 straight since losing to the Steelers back in Week 3. I mean the Patriots, there's no they're not slowing down. And versus the Bengals, even if they had Jamar Chase, I don't think it would have been enough because the Bengals, their defense we know is awful. Their offense can only do so much, but the Patriots defense is legitimate. They got guys that can get stuff done. And Mike Vrabel is just one hell of a coach. I mean, like he's doing exactly what he needs to do, and it's no shock to you or me right here or anybody watching right now because we all knew Mike Vrabel was a great coach dating back to his Titan days, and now he's over in New England doing what he needs to do, and obviously it's being a great effect for a guy like Drake May, who is right now probably the front runner for MVP. But yeah, I got the Patriots getting this one for sure. I don't think Cincinnati even keeps us close, and New England gets 9 straight victories. That'd be insane, but very possible. Next game, we have the New York Giants at the Detroit Lions. Clutch, what's your prediction?
I mean, it's funny because you look at a lot of the Giants games, and a lot of them are winnable at the end of the game, but they still manage to lose. And I feel like it doesn't change this game because I mean Detroit, like they did lose against the Eagles from a call, by the way, that was bullshit. It should not have been pass interference or
I
a
saw
allowed
that.
play.
I saw that.
That was
That's
ridiculous. And even Chris Collinsworth is like, yeah, that's a bad call. When Chris
yes.
Collinsworth is telling you it's a bad call, it has to be a bad call.
It was.
But I'm definitely going to be picking Detroit in this game.
Yeah, for sure. The Giants, they may have Jackson Dart back in this game. If not, it will be Jameis Winston, of course, because Russ is completely done. Um,
Yeah,
he's done.
he's horrible.
He is done. Like they went to Jameis Winston. They didn't even go back to
Yeah.
Russ. They knew like, yeah, you're done. Um,
The Broncos really traded multiple first round picks for him.
yeah, they
Crazy.
experimented that, and it was a failed experiment with Nathaniel Hackett, and Sean Payton was like, nah, like I can already see where this is going, and we're gonna close the book on this. Like you're done.
Yeah.
So yeah. Of course, the Steelers tried out with Russ, and toward the tail end, we all saw the way of Russ nowadays, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I got Detroit getting this win here. They need a bounce back victory. The Giants, like you mentioned, like they keep it close and whatnot, but it's like they can't just close it. They can't close it out. And I think they've lost 5 straight, and I think they're going to make it 6 straight losses. And Detroit gets a victory here, considering it's in Detroit. Yeah, Detroit's a heavy favorite here, so no doubt about it. Detroit gets the victory here. Next game, we have an NFC North battle. We have the Minnesota Vikings at the Green Bay Packers. What's your prediction?
This is a tough one because I mean Minnesota. You would think, like going into the year, you thought they were going to be decent with like JJ McCarthy, but like he he's just. I feel like even Malik Willis for the Packers is better than JJ McCarthy. Like no, because like Malik Willis stepped in last week and they scored a touchdown. Like Christian Watson scored or caught a touchdown from two different quarterbacks, like in that game, because they have a serviceable backup like we do with Mason.
Mm-hmm.
But Minnesota is just. And I saw a clip of Justin Jefferson like raging on the sideline because his quarterback sucks. I'm like, sorry, bro. That's why I traded you away, man.
He's
But
been through the ringer at quarterback, let me tell you.
yeah, but for that reason, I just got to go with Green Bay.
Yeah, I got to go with the Packers as well. The Vikings, like on paper, they look like a solid football team. They surely got the talent. There's no denying that. It's just, of course, the question mark was going to be like, how is JJ McCarthy going to perform? How's he going to do? And obviously, he's not performing great. I think he's, 6 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. And he's just a very inconsistent quarterback. And I know he dealt with an injury for quite some time. And they had to go with Carson Wentz, who wasn't really that great or consistent at that. It's just their quarterback position is up in the air right now. Though McCarthy is young and this is his full, true year of starting and getting action. Maybe he just needs more experience. Maybe he still needs more development. I don't know. They're just gonna have to ride out with whatever McCarthy can be able to do, and Minnesota's gonna have to keep their fingers crossed that McCarthy kind of steps up and plays a lot better toward the end stretch of the season. But the Packers, they got a good bounce back win last week versus Giants and whatnot. I think they do get the victory here versus Minnesota in Lambeau. And, they're going to be fighting for that first place division that Chicago is holding right now. So, yeah. Next game, we have for sure a blowout right here. We got the Seattle Seahawks at the Tennessee Titans. Do I even need to ask you your prediction, Clutch?
Seattle. That's it.
That's it.
There's nothing else to say. They get Tennessee,
Literally.
Tennessee, and they're awful. They don't have any receivers. Like I watch a like a I don't know a fantasy like I don't know quote expert, and like in his review, a recap of the week is like he's basically like, oh, Tennessee Titans. There's not a single person on the Tennessee Titans that you can actually start, like in fantasy. There's nobody. I mean, unless Tony Pollard went down or Tyjae Spears went down, then you would have like a low end like RB3. But they don't have any assets on the offense, and it's just a horrible offense, just awful. Like they have no chance in this game.
No, they
If they
don't.
won, I would be genuinely surprised.
I mean, they have one win on the season, and that was versus the Cardinals, and that was because their running back dropped the ball at the 1 yard line, and Arizona blew the lead. If they didn't do that,
into the end zone.
if they didn't do that, Titans would be 0-10 right now, but they are 1-9. So I guess it's better for Tennessee's sake. But I mean, you're going up against Seattle, which is one of the best teams in the NFL this season. They're 7-3 for a reason. Sam Darnold's looking good. I mean, the whole team is looking good. Tennessee does not stand a chance. Seattle for sure to get the victory here. Next game, we have a very, very good football game coming up here. We got the Indianapolis Colts at the Kansas City Chiefs, who I believe the Chiefs have actually lost 2 straight, and they are 5-5 right now. Could the Colts pull off the upset, quote unquote, in Arrowhead? What's your prediction here?
I would actually say yes, because Jonathan Taylor, and he's just no matter who he goes up against, except when it's the Steelers, apparently, he just dominates. So I got to go with the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts, they're still a good football team. The Chiefs, I mean, listen, as long as they have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, you can never count them out. But something's not clicking with Kansas City. For them to have 5 losses already at this point is kind of surprising, in my opinion. Because they were on a 3-game win streak up until the Bills game, and they've lost to the Bills and the Broncos in back-to-back games. And, Kansas City going to Arrowhead or staying in Arrowhead, they're going to want to bounce back a game here, a bounce back win. But going up against the Colts right here, it might be a very tough task. And like we know what the Colts are capable of. Daniel Jones is still playing very good. Jonathan Taylor's the best back in the NFL. They still got targets. That defense is very capable. See, initially I was picking Kansas City here, but I think I'm going to go with the upset, and I think I'm going to go with the Colts, and I think the Colts can be able to manage, give the Chiefs their 3rd straight loss, which I would love to see, by the way. Yeah. And I think the Colts go to 9-2.
It's worth noting that the Kansas City Chiefs, all of their losses are 1-score games, and then they were 11-0 last season in 1-score games, and now they're 0-5 in 1-score games.
That's right. Yes. Could this be
what you will?
I mean, could this be another case of that? Could they continue to be winless in 1-score games? I can see it being the case, but no, I think the Colts can absolutely pull off the win here for sure. I'm going to go with Indianapolis to get the win. So go Colts. Get it for the shoe. Next game, we have the New York Jets at the Baltimore Ravens, who the Ravens have won 4 straight and possibly looking to make it 5 straight. Do you believe that is the case, Clutch?
For sure. There's no, they just benched Justin Fields. Oh my God. Thank God we got rid of him. Because, oh my God, he can't throw a football. he can run a football, but he can't throw a football. So he's just. And I remember that. I think it was one game. It was 2 weeks ago or something. He had like 4 completed passes or something. It was really bad.
Yeah, Fields has not been great this season whatsoever. I don't know what happened or what the case is. Maybe it's just a Jets thing overall, but I don't recall Fields, of course, ever being this bad when he was a Steeler. I thought he looked pretty decent when he was with the Steelers, but ultimately
Yeah, I thought that too. But
he took the chance on himself, and I'm never gonna, I'm never going to fault a man for wanting to take a chance on himself and, gamble on himself, do what he needs to do. But obviously, it has not paid off. I mean, it's the Jets we're talking about here. They're 2-8. They lost to the Patriots in their last game. I know they're going to want a win here with Tyrod Taylor, quarterback, but the Ravens, man, they got a lot of momentum. And once they have momentum in the regular season, it's hard to slow them down. With Lamar, Derrick Henry, guys like that defense that's playing better, especially with the changes that they did and the additions they have. I'm going to go with the Ravens here, unfortunately. I think they get 5 straight victories here. You just can't count on the Jets for anything. Let's be real here. So Baltimore is going to get 5 straight, and they're going to continue to climb up the ladder of the AFC North division, unfortunately. Next game.
At least Justin Fields got paid.
He got a hefty bag. I'll give him that. He can't complain about that.
Yeah.
He got the bag, so good for Fields, I suppose. Yeah, next game, we got the Cleveland Browns, who might have Shedeur Sanders starting in this game.
I think he will. I think it's more than likely it will be Shedeur Sanders. Dylan Gabriel's not expected to play.
Yeah, I think he's in concussion protocol. They do face the Vegas Raiders, who looked horrible versus the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. Clutch, what's your prediction?
This is like trash versus garbage in my opinion. Because I mean, I don't know if you watched that Vegas game last night, but it was yeah.
They gave the ball to Genti 6 times rushing.
Yeah.
When the Cowboys' rush defense is bottom 5.
And then their O line is terrible. I don't know if you saw that. I thought it was really funny. I saw in the sleeper player chat, the people are saying like it's ironic that Pete Carroll does a run and play and the running back gets tackled at his own end zone when he didn't run the ball in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I think Genti got tackled in the end zone for a safety at one point in the game, so it was pretty bad. So I mean, but oh god, they're both so terrible. Oh my god, I have no idea who to pick. I mean,
So this is the tank bowl here.
yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Cleveland. I think just because I think they have a better O line and a little bit of a better defense. Because like you could really go either way. I mean, I wouldn't fault you for picking either other team, but I'm just gonna go with Cleveland in this one.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of the Browns and Dolphins game, to which, both were and still are very bad football teams. But I think Cleveland was a home team, and I went with the home team. And Cleveland obviously dismantled Miami. I think they won, 31-6 or 9, whatever it was. I mean, Miami didn't stand a chance. And that was primarily because of that defense of the Browns, which is capable, in my opinion. It's still a good, capable defense. I mean, Garrett's got 15 sacks on the season already. He had 4 sacks versus the Ravens. So, I mean, good for Myles Garrett. At least he's standing out for the Browns, as you would expect. If Shador's starting, I mean, he didn't look good when he stepped in for the Ravens. I mean, he had what? How many completions?
4 completions on 16 attempts. He had like 40 yards.
Threw an interception. I know that.
Yeah.
He didn't look good.
It was the first drive that he came in. He immediately threw an interception. I think he first came in, got sacked, and then he threw an interception on the next play.
Yeah, not a good start for Shador for sure. If he has to step in, I mean, best of luck to him, honestly. The Raiders.
There's people still defending him too on Twitter.
No, there's no defending him. There's no defend. No way. No, you can't defend garbage whatsoever. The Raiders, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what Pete Carroll has in mind. I don't know why they're not utilizing Genti a lot more often than they really should be. I mean, you drafted him 6 overall, and you're only giving him 6 carries on a Monday Night Football game versus the Cowboys defense, and you're having Geno throw the ball, and he hasn't looked good all season. I think if I had to pick a team, I think I'm. I don't know. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go with the Raiders. I'm gonna go with the Raiders to get the victory here. They've lost 4 straight. I don't know how many losses straight that the Browns have dealt with. Nonetheless, one team will be on a continued losing streak. That's for sure. But I'm going to say that the Raiders get the victory here. I think they do give it to Genty. I think that's the key to victory here for the Raiders. Just don't have Geno throw the ball. It's not working. It's been a negative for that entire team. Just give it to Genty. Let the rookie do what he needs to do. And just feed him the ball. So I'm gonna go with the Raiders to get the victory here. And if Shador does play, I don't think he has a good game. I don't. That's just my opinion. I could be horribly wrong on that. We'll see. I just don't think Shador looks good as the Browns quarterback for this one. I don't.
Yeah.
Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who dismantled and blew out the Los Angeles Chargers last week in a bit of a surprise, at the Arizona Cardinals, who got blown out by the 49ers last week. What's your prediction here?
Uh, I I mean, I wanted to pick Arizona as an upset, but I really feel like Jacksonville, like they can't mess this up, can they? Like this is like
It's
they,
Jacksonville, though.
they just had a statement win where they dominated the Chargers. Like
Yeah, but
if they like
the,
it's I know it's the
the
Jaguars.
week before that, they let Davis Mills pull off a come from behind comeback.
I know they're just like the biggest bipolar team. They're either like
Right?
amazing or they suck. So I'm gonna still pick Jacksonville because Arizona sucks, but it's just it's tough. It's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona, I just looked this up right now. The past 2 games, Arizona has given up 40 or more points defensively. I mean, that defense is not being relied on. The only good guy on that defense really is probably Budda Baker or Josh Sweat. That's pretty much it. Outside of them, they don't really have anybody defensively. Brissett's, I'll say this, with Brissett in at quarterback, he's more effective. The Cardinals are more effective as a passing unit, as he sling it to McBride and Marvin Harrison when he's there, and Michael Wilson. I think he had 185 receiving yards in that game. I'll give him that, but Arizona, they're not a good football team at this stage right here. I don't know if they ever go back to Kyler Murray at this stage. Even then, like Murray hasn't really helped the Cardinals one bit. I'd say Brissett has been a bit more effective in a quarterback. Not much so for them to get wins. Considering how Jacksonville's been looking all season, because they pulled off the upset versus the Chiefs on Monday night a couple weeks ago. And then 2 weeks ago, they let Davis Mills pull off a comeback in the fourth quarter, and then they dismantled the Chargers of all teams the very next week. I could see Arizona pull off the upset. I really could, considering it is in Glendale, Arizona. It is in the State Farm Stadium. But I think I'm going to go with the Jaguars to get the win here and go on 2 straight wins. Though I would not be surprised if Arizona were to pull off the upset. I wouldn't, but I'm going to go with Jacksonville for now. Next game, we have the rematch from week 1, the opening week game. We got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Cowboys. What's your prediction?
It's tough because it's divisional. Even though Dallas doesn't really have that great of a record, it's still, you could go either way. Dak is actually playing pretty well. And Pickens actually also he had a blow up game on
Yes.
Monday night.
Yes, he did.
I actually had Philadelphia, but I'm gonna switch it to Dallas.
Okay. I mean, I could see them pulling off the win. Dallas, that is. I mean, because they were close. Like, if CeeDee Lamb back in week 1, if he did not drop, what was it, like 3 or 4 passes on that fourth quarter alone, if he didn't drop those passes, Dallas probably would have won week 1. But, I mean, it wasn't just CD that, lost them the game. I mean, the defense wasn't effective. They couldn't stop Jalen Hurts and whatnot that week 1. But nonetheless, like, you look back at that game, like, CD's drops were definitely a negative in Dallas losing that game. But, I mean, we know CD's still capable. Pickens has been a star for Dallas. They got a good running back in Williams, close to 1,000 yards. Dak's probably playing some of his best football this season. You still can't rely on that defense of Dallas. You can't, even with although Quentin Williams, he did have a second and a half Monday night versus Arizona. He's looking good right now. He's starting off as a very fine addition. He should surely help in trying to slow down Saquon Barkley for Philly, though he's not really having the season he had last year, of course. But Philadelphia, they're still finding ways to get wins. They're on a 4-game win streak since losing to the Giants on that dreadful Thursday Night Football just, about almost 2 months ago. Considering it's Philly and Dallas, this could go either way. But I think I'm going to go with Philadelphia to get the win here, to go with the sweep. Though I could see Dallas pulling off the upset. I really could. I mean, like, they got some momentum right now. They got a good win on primetime on Monday Night Football. And that offense of theirs is lighting the league up. You know, they're a powerful offense. I could see an upset, but I think I'm gonna go with Philadelphia to get the win here, and I think they would go 9-2 if they get the W. So that's going to be Philadelphia's goal for sure. But next game, we got the Atlanta Falcons, who don't have Michael Penix for basically the rest of the season. Now they have to resort back to Kirk Cousins, R.I.P., at the New Orleans Saints. What's your prediction?
Well, let's just say Atlanta slammed their Penix in the car door because they're I think I mean they should be the favorite based on record, but I actually am going with New Orleans on this one.
As am I. I mean, Atlanta's they were 3-2 at one point, and they have lost 5 straight. They are now 3-7. That defense has really dipped. It's really fallen apart, and their quarterback situation is quite honestly up in the air, as well as their, like Raheem Morris, the head coach for them. There's a question mark of, like, is he the guy for them? Like, what's his vision? Like, what's his idea for the Falcons? But yeah, the quarterback position. I mean, they paid all that money for Kirk Cousins, then they bench him in the second half of the season last year for Penix, who's got glimpses, but he's a bit inconsistent. He still is this season. But if you remember, he had 2 torn ACLs in his college career at Washington, and now he's got another season-ending injury here. And now they got to resort back to Kirk Cousins. It's like Atlanta's not looking good right now.
Well. I think it was a torn ACL as well.
Oh my god!
His other ACL.
Oh my god!
He tore one ACL twice because it had to be reconstructed twice.
Right.
And then his other ACL he just got partially torn, so he has to get surgery on that as well. So he shout out to Josh K getting ACL injuries.
Yeah, dude. Josh K, I apologize. I feel for you. I mean, geez, it's just not a good place right now in Atlanta for the Falcons and the Saints. They're going to want to try to get any wins as possible. Kellen Moore as their head coach. I mean, they're going to try to take advantage of that. And they are coming off a win versus the Panthers, so they got more momentum than Atlanta does. So yeah, I'm gonna go in New Orleans to get a win here for sure. Sunday Night Football. Now we have a great game here. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who I believe have lost 2 straight, so they're looking to redeem themselves here. But they got a tough task going to Los Angeles to face the 8-2 Rams. What's your prediction?
In my opinion, this has got to be the perfect chance for a bounce back for Tampa Bay. So I'm going to go with Tampa Bay.
I mean, they need it, right? I mean, losing 2 straight, considering the team that they have and how Baker was playing at the beginning of the season. And he's still playing some good football, but Tampa Bay, they've been on a string of bad luck with losses. I mean, the past 4 games, they have gone 1-3, with the only one going up against the Saints. And even then, that wasn't really that impressive. Even Tampa Bay's, or not Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield, he said himself, he wasn't too thrilled with the performance in that game. And coming off the bye, they've lost 2 straight. They definitely need a bounce back win. But you're going on the road to Los Angeles versus the Rams, who have won 5 straight, and they have a lot of momentum. Stafford's playing good, of course, as he always is. Pook is healthy. Kyron Williams is good. That defense is great. Sean McVay has always been a great head coach. It is going to be a difficult task for Tampa Bay, but when you have a quarterback like Baker Mayfield playing at the level he is, you can never count on Tampa Bay. See, I wanted to pick Tampa Bay because it's kind of hard to see what the talent that they have and how Todd Bowles is leading the charge as head coach. Still, it's kind of hard to see them going 3 straight losses. But when you look at the Rams, it's kind of like, yeah, like you can see the Rams, of course, still collecting wins and getting wins throughout the season, and they are a great football team. It's just a tough stretch for the Buccaneers right now. But this is a stretch where they have to prove themselves and stick out. And and play some of their best football. And this could be the time for them to really understand that and for them to really stick out and perform. But I think I'm going to go with the Rams to get the win here. Though I can see Tampa Bay for sure, keeping this close, keeping this competitive like they did for the Bills game just last week. But I think I'm going to go with the Rams to get the victory here. But I do believe that this will be a very high-scoring affair. Should be a fun Sunday night primetime football game for sure.
If Baker throws to Igbukah and actually doesn't throw over his head for once, maybe they'll actually win. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, he's got targets, like even with the injuries.
Targets, but they're all over his head.
He's got to,
and they're just horrible.
He's got to drop him in the bucket. Like Baker's got to, he's got to get to that first 4-week stretch, that Baker was on. He's got to be on point. A game like that versus the Rams, that's the game for him to do it. But we'll see. But to close out Week 12, guys, we have Monday Night Football. We have the Carolina Panthers at the San Francisco 49ers. Interesting Monday Night Football game here, but what's your prediction?
Well, I mean, you could go either way, and I kind of wanted to go Carolina, but Brock Purdy back with San Francisco, and they looked amazing. So I can't pick against San Francisco.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to. I mean, like they're slowly, like they still got a lot of injuries, a lot of guys that are out for the season, but they're slowly, getting healthy and whatnot. They're slowly starting to get players back and more involved. And you saw that last week versus Arizona. Brock Purdy threw 3 touchdowns. McCaffrey had 2 rushing touchdowns. It was a dominant victory versus a division rival, as you'd expect the 49ers to get. And they are 7-4. Throughout all the injuries and whatnot, they are looking good. They're getting some wins here. The Panthers, they have a winning record. They're 6-5. It's going to be an interesting football game here because, Bryce Young versus, the Falcons? Yeah, he faced the Falcons, and Bryce Young put up Panther records with passing yards. He had a great game versus the Falcons. So, maybe, you're starting to see the glimpse of what Bryce Young's really all about, why the Panthers traded the house for Bryce Young. And for primetime game, this is a type of performance or game here versus a 49ers defense where you want to see Bryce Young, kind of be consistent and do what he needs to do like he did versus the Falcons. But we're talking 2 completely different defenses here with the Falcons and the 49ers. But Bryce Young, he's going to have to step up for sure. It's just San Francisco, right now, they're getting players back, they're getting more healthy. They got a lot of momentum. It's kind of hard to really bet against San Francisco. Though Carolina, they are a capable football team. They keep games competitive. They keep games close. And this could be a close affair. It could really come down to a game-winning field goal. But nonetheless, I think I'm going to go with San Francisco to get the victory here to end Week 12. But it should be an interesting Monday Night Football game, and it should be an interesting Week 12 overall. So that is the Week 12 predictions, guys. Let us know your guys' thoughts and predictions down below. ClutchBox, I want to thank you for joining me for the Week 12 predictions. It was a lot of fun having you on here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I always look forward to coming back every year.
Of course, man. Anytime, every year for the weekly predictions. So thanks again for joining me. And guys, once again, let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. And comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Peace.